Nearly 2 million Floridians with prison records were forbidden from voting because of a Jim Crow-era law aimed to disenfranchise people of color, who, as we all know, are statistically more likely to be arrested than prosecuted and convicted. In 2018, Florida voters overwhelmingly passed Amendment 4, which restored voting rights to Floridian citizens who had served their time in prison and were now free. And Republicans panicked. Trump had just beaten Hillary in Florida by a little more than 100,000 votes. And now Amendment 4 was passed, and that meant there were going to be nearly 2 million new voters in the 2020 presidential election down in Florida. 2 million voters who had seen the inside of a Florida prison. Who do you think those 2 million new voters are going to cast their ballot for? Not Trump and not Ron DeSantis. So the Republican-controlled state legislature down in Florida, after Amendment 4 was passed, immediately passed a new law saying that anyone released from prison and had their voting rights restored must first show proof that they have paid off all the fees and fines associated with their arrest, conviction, and prison sentence. Now, please pay attention to this. Please pay attention to this. Most inmates leave Florida prisons in more debt than when they entered, because in Florida, prison inmates are charged $50 a day. So a 1-year prison sentence in Florida costs the inmate close to $20,000. And that doesn't include all the hidden fees, like the cost of a phone call or a candy bar. It is not inconceivable for someone to come out of a Florida prison owing as much as $100,000, possibly $200,000 for their time in prison. I'm not making this up. Google it. If you're sentenced to prison in Florida, they charge you $50 a day. Even worse, I know, we have foreign listeners and they're going, Feldman is just making shit up. It's worse. Good behavior is not rewarded. Like if you get a 5-year prison sentence in Florida and you behave well and are released after 3 years, if you serve 3 years of a 5-year sentence because you were behaving properly, you still owe the state of Florida $50 a day for the full 5-year sentence. Got it? You get out after 3 years, you still owe $50 a day on the 2 years you're not serving in prison. 40 states here in the United States, as recently as 3 years ago, 40 states had these pay-to-stay programs. They're called pay-to-stay programs. Now, Florida voters said, restore voting rights to ex-prisoners, right? That happened in 2018, Amendment 4. Florida Republicans in the state legislature said, well, first they have to pay what they owe. How many of these nearly 2 million former convicts are going to be able to pay back the state of Florida for what they're being charged for staying in the prison? You see, they may have paid their debt to society, but there's no way they can possibly pay their debt to the state of Florida. And that means they can't vote. This is America. This is America.